Hey everybody, ChristopherOdd here. Welcome to a look at Bionic Dues. This game is being described as a tactical, turn-based roguelite with mech customization. So if you know what all those words mean, then you're set. You know exactly what to expect. For the rest of us, it's something you have to play or something you have to see to really understand. And so what my goal is to, over the next 20 or 25 minutes, show you guys what you can expect from Bionic Dues. Now, I am playing a beta version that isn't finished quite yet. In terms of all the gameplay, it's fully up to date, but there is no in-game music, and there will be an introductory comic before it launches October 8th on Steam. There will be a link in the description if you guys want to check that out. And before I jump into the gameplay, I want to go through the settings menu as has been requested by a few people on previous Odd Look videos. So right off the bat, you're going to see that our controls are customizable, and I wouldn't expect anything less on a PC game nowadays. And the other cool thing that you notice is that you can actually customize where your save games go. That may not be a big deal to some people, but for some people that just want all the control over their file system, that's a pretty big deal. So good on you guys for implementing that. From a graphics perspective, it's pretty straightforward. You have your different resolution settings, your refresh rate. You can choose the fog of war dimness. Also, there's a few things over here, and one of the things I want to point out that this game does really well is it gives you a little tooltip that describes what type of impact you can expect that setting to have. I think that's great. I wish more games would do that because sometimes it's so ambiguous, you have no idea what the settings are doing. You can show the FPS in the chat log. I'll actually turn that on so that you guys can see how the game is from a performance perspective at any point. This is the chat window up here, by the way. Audio-wise, very straightforward. Music, ambience, voice, sound. Nothing crazy. And then there are some extras here which change a little bit of the gameplay, but I will be leaving everything to its default for now. So let's get going. I'll try to explain things as they come up because it is fairly deep. I've played through a chunk of one game. I haven't finished it. Each game could take you quite a long time. It's nice that you can save and come back to things and try out different techniques as you go. But let's jump in. So we're going to start a new game. Now what's going to happen here is you get to choose from 4 Exos out of 6 possible Exos. Now, I have this set up the way that I like, with an assault, a siege, a sniper, and a science. So your assault's your all-around guy, your siege is designed for like your heavy weaponry, your sniper for long range, and your science for things like hacking, scanning, jamming things, uploading viruses, things like that. None of that makes any sense to you because you don't know what I'm talking about yet, but you will. And just to show you the other 2, you have a brawler who is for short range, as you can see, but they all have their limitations too, right? So he can't see past mid-range, and that becomes pretty important. And the last one is a ninja, silent, deadly, plus 50% to all propulsion stats, immune to splash damage, can remain stealthed while firing, which is pretty great. But I'm going to switch out to the science because having somebody that can hack, as you'll see, becomes pretty important. There are a bunch of pilots you can choose as well. Axis, Emma, Meg, Tuck, Genji, and Ray. They each have different bonuses that impact your entire campaign. You can only select one pilot, so it's really important that you choose that wisely. I'm going to stick with Meg. Her ability lets her... where is it here? No, she's not the one I want. Yes, Axis. We're going to go with her. A professional scout drone pilot. Before she becomes an Exo driver, Axis has the ability to see 4 missions on the city map instead of the usual 3. More importantly, she has the ability to undertake missions that are 2 away rather than the usual 1. They all have different abilities, but you can read through those on your own if you're interested in checking that out. Let's go.
The city's under attack by bot forces. Just launched a surprise bombing run against our main hangars. Destroyed all our Exos save for the 4 you had with you on the training grounds. You're practically still a trainee, but you're the last Exo pilot we have. Our intel says you've got 50 days before the bots attack our headquarters en masse. Weaken them and strengthen yourself before that time comes, and then be prepared to fight them off our doorstep.
Okay, so you get the gist. I really like the voice actor. It reminds me of Bastion a little bit. You can probably draw that conclusion. The game does feel slightly empty without the in-game music, obviously, but that will be implemented by release. So, the basic gist of this is that each mission you go on takes 1 day. There's going to be 50 days before there's a rebellion and some giant robot fight. Now, over on the right, these are kind of the enemy forces that are building up, and you can impact these in a few ways. I think it says right here. So you can reduce their manufacturing level via computers or certain missions, attack their factories, go on assassination missions, and go to Lion's Den missions to mop up some of their smaller forces. So, what are all those missions? Well, you can see here that there's a ton of different missions that we can access. Now, my pilot's special ability is I can branch out 2 connections instead of just the usual 1. So if I was choosing any other pilot right now, I would only be able to branch out from our home base on 4 possible missions. But now I can go out on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different missions, which is great because sometimes there's other missions that will be more beneficial to you. For example, if the enemy forces start attacking our HQ, we need to rebuild it, and we need to go on salvage missions that will rebuild our current HQ. So there's actually, I think, 23 different types of missions, which is really cool. So it stops things from getting repetitive. And you can choose them however you want. You've got 50 days to use however you please. And that's the whole strategy aspect of it. You also have all of the Exos that we picked over on the left-hand side. And what's cool about going into each of these is everything is customizable, okay? So if we look at our inventory, here's what we've got right now. We've got a Mark 1 scanner, consumes 10 power, gives +1 to sensor range, 15 virus points per mission. This gives us 4 extra mines, 1 sensor range, and a power adapter. So this produces 2 power, and it takes away power needed by parts in the same system, but it gives you +10 regen. So I'll show you what that means as we get going, but just know that there are a ton of different parts that you'll find, like hundreds. And the way you can customize your soldiers, or your Exos, I should say, is almost limitless. It really is. So let's throw some of these on here. Let's go with this one, and then I'll throw one on my other Exos. Let's see. I should probably check. It'll tell you where these things can go. So in the bottom of the screen, it says fits in propulsion and shields. So if we go back to our inventory, this fits in computers. This fits in also a computer. And these are randomly generated at the start. So being that computer stuff is probably better off with our hacking, then we're going to put it into our science guy. We'll put both of them in there. So right away, we've got 3 of our upgrades into science, into our science Exo. And without further ado, let's get into a mission. So we'll just go on a blockade mission first. It should be easy, but now I can kind of explain the combat a little bit. So it's turn-based, but, and there's a giant but here, you can, if you so choose, you can move your guy freely. It's just going to move those turns along very quickly. So if I move my Exo left, down, those are 1 turn each. And if I move, then they can move. Okay, these are the enemies. Now, they just went into these mines. All of these flashing squares, this is unexplored territory. But if you hover over this and right-click, then you can attack with whichever weapon you have selected. Now, some of these guys, they'll have stealth. And each time you click, which is switching out your Exo, you can do that on the fly, but that uses up a turn. So you want to take things kind of slow, but you can go really fast if you want. So right now we have our science bot in there. Now, typically you don't really want to attack, but I'm I'm tempted just to get this guy out of here.
No.
And then let's switch our assault back.
Systems offline.
And you can see they each have all these different upgrades, and you'll get more and more as you progress. The grenade launcher is really good in the assault. Let's throw our sniper in there.
Ouch.
Okay. Now, you can also see it's keeping track of everything that we've done in the top here. Everything is tracked, and you can scroll through it from beginning to the end, which is great. I love that kind of stuff. So, now, when you're in these maps, it's a balance between how many enemies do you want to go out and kill, okay, for more experience, salvage, stuff like that, and how much do you want to explore to find hidden areas, to find things you can hack, hidden doors, and ultimately you want to find the mission exit. So once you find the mission exit, you have to decide if you want to leave or if you want to keep going.
Systems offline.
So these enemies that we're fighting right at the start, they are obviously not the smartest robots in the factory. But they get a little bit more aggressive the further you get going. Now, if you just hover over some of these tiles, you'll see what they do. So these are mines. You should totally step on these, which is sarcasm for don't totally step on these. This is just regular cover. You've also got some additional cover that's in the fog of war. And then you've got a fuel tank. And if you shoot this fuel tank, it blows up a large radius around. So that can come in pretty handy. As you can see right now, I'm just going to hold to the right, and you'll see what I mean. It's almost like not turn-based if you're just holding your mouse or your keyboard. But I like to take things slow as much as I can in these type of games. Okay, so here's the warp pad. This is the mission exit right here. You can shoot out some of the mines if you'd like, so that you guarantee that you don't step in them. But I want to show you guys a couple of things. So this is a computer terminal that we can hack. So let's work our way up there. And
How did I not see that?
we'll take out any enemies. We'll switch to our science exo. And then when we walk into this, we have the opportunity to hack, okay? So over here is our hacking points, and then our virus points, which I can maybe get to a little bit later. Hacking points, basically hacks are done automatically, but you have to have enough points to do the hack. So sometimes you'll reach terminals that require more points, and you may not have enough at that time to be able to hack into it. But this only requires 1 point, and we have 9, so we're gonna do it. And that's bad. So the one thing I forgot to mention is that hacking things isn't always good. You're not always gonna get something positive out of it. Most of the time, you'll get loot. Okay, you'll get something cool, some type of upgrade or credits or just something that will benefit you. But then there's the times where you don't, and everything blows up, including your Exo. He's gone from this mission now. So now anything else I want to hack, I can't, because my science bot was the only one that could hack things, which is unfortunate. You do also have a couple things here that I should point out. So a whistle, which is basically like a taunt. And so if you have a bunch of enemies that you want to draw out, so let's see here, if I can draw out those guys up top. So they want to come at me, but they're stuck behind these blockades. So using our sniper and his gamma ray, we can actually pick these guys off from a pretty big distance. And that was one of those fuel tanks. We've got another ammo bot in the back here. I'm going to switch to his laser rifle to try that out. It's exactly the same as the assaults. So you have a certain amount of ammo. You got to keep all that stuff in mind. But as I said, I'm trying to explain as much as I can to you guys, but it's very deep. There's a lot going on. So you see this one here. I can't get to that now. It's irrelevant, which means I should probably just leave. It doesn't really benefit me a lot to be in here now because the hacking is really beneficial.
Avenge me.
Let's see here. I'll go check out this door. The one thing I like is that I can maneuver like quickly if I want to. I'm just, you know, scooting around. But then as soon as combat starts, I can stop and then I can go turn-based, right? It is all turn-based. You have to remember that, but it's just advancing the turns really quickly. So getting into this door, it's locked. Okay, some doors are locked. Some things can be blown open. But I need hacking to get in here, and I don't have hacking on anybody except for, you guessed it, he's gone. So I'm actually going to go to the mission exit because this was a relatively basic one. I'll talk about these explosive runes as well, but we'll do that on another mission.
Well done, pilot. Well done. Another one in the bag.
A whole bunch of achievements. Not sure what for, but that was a mission success. So here's the loot that we got. A day has passed, and then here's what's going on with the enemy. The enemy is constantly building up these forces on this looming countdown to day number 50, where, all right, I guess it's days until, so day 0, when there's an all-out war, and you want to make sure that you're prepared because they're going to be launching all of this at you. So your goal is to try to reduce that as much as you possibly can. Okay. So now the cool thing is we can pick any of these missions that we want, which is superb. Before we jump in, we're going to do some more upgrades. And for right now, I'm just going to go through relatively quickly and throw these on whatever I can. Computers, reactors, I should say. So let's go to our science, throw this in his computer. And then he can have the fortified auxiliary shield generator. So it gives more to his shields, and that should keep him a little bit more survivable. Let's see, what do we want to do? An infested data center filled with 3 times the usual number of locked doors and loot. Have your hacker tools ready if you want to make the most of this mission. Destroy the energy reactor in the facility to win. Let's try that one out. Okay. Now, it is cool. I should mention that you can zoom in and out, which is really great. The art style, as you can see when you get up close, it's really nice. I tend to like the color palette that they've chosen. I know it might be a weird comment, but it just, everything feels really polished, and I like that. So let's go scouting here. Oh, that could have been worse. So that's why you got to be careful of just running about, because you could run into the wrong guy.
Not like this.
And what I should probably be doing is stealthing sometimes, but I typically like to use my stealth in troublesome scenarios. Okay. Whoa. Okay, that thing, he just wiped out my assault. As you learn more about the enemies, you will, you'll be able to better predict what they're gonna do, but let's see if I can get him with my sniper. That's not gonna happen, is it? Can I get this one?
No.
And then this one's coming up. Perfect. Whoa.
Ukraine.
That's an interesting spot. Okay, so this is a locked door. Let's bring out our science guy, and let's hack into it. Costs 1 point. And we found a large loot container. That's awesome. So we found deadly auxiliary coolant tank, and we'll have to learn more about that from our inventory screen once we get back to base. Now let's switch back to our sniper and keep exploring. Here's another door we can hack. Shield recharge station. Fully restore shields for the exo that opens it. Now all of our shields are fully up right now, so it doesn't really matter. I guess what I should have done is just left that open. Now I'm going to blow up this cover, but I'm going to do it from range. And assuming these guys will come out. There we go. Now we've got a false wall. Impassable unless blown to bits. We can do that. We're good at that. Whoa. Okay, this is dangerous. Let's get our siege guy out here.
Systems offline.
Computer terminal special. Let's try not to
Why
destroy
was I
that.
programmed to feel pain?
Now I could stealth in. I've only got 5 units available on my stealth, which means I could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and kind of catch them off guard. Maybe I'll do that.
No.
Awesome. If I had the ninja exo, I could have come in here stealthed and shot while stealth, which is pretty powerful in some scenarios. But let's check out this terminal now. Switch in for science. 1 point to hack. Oh, jeez. Okay. At least it didn't consume me this time.
I die. I die.
All right. Okay, this is a locked door. Let's hack into this. And you can see, like, we're running out of hacks, right? So this overall strategy, the whole kind of meta game is, well, do I want to save until I have more hacking points available to me to go on these hacking missions? Probably. But being that this is a video where I want to try to show you as much content as I can, I didn't choose to employ that, but that would be something you can decide as you go. Ammo chest. Okay, fully restore ammo for the exo that opens it. Let's restore our sniper's ammo. And then we'll switch again. Let's hack in here. Large loot container. A mine layer of energy. I'll take it.
No.
And you can see, I should show this. It'll show you how much damage that you're doing. So this is a 400 attack for range of 12, which is obviously pretty huge. And you can see that this has 52 shields, 25 attack, and virus points to infect it. So if I wanted to, I could switch to my science and I could infect it with virus if I get close enough. And then it fights for me. But I actually need 30 virus points to do that, and I only have 22, so that doesn't really work.
You cretin.
That was really stupid what I was doing, switching back and forth, because that uses a turn and he'll just sit there and keep attacking me.
Wait. I'll turn it around. You cretin.
And these bots early on, they don't even stand a chance against my sniper because of the incredible range that he has. See, but now it'd be good to have that shield recharge, right? Okay, nano rifled barrel of extension. Very good. Dense overload circuit. And one of the things I really like is everything is just randomly generated. So every time you play, something's going to be different. And your strategy is going to have to change based on what you find. Or conversely, what you don't find.
Avenge me.
That could have went worse. Okay, we've got one more, so let's do it. Now it's a matter of fighting our way out, finding the exit, because there's nothing else that we can hack. We're out of hacking points, unfortunately. Whoa!
Systems offline.
Let's switch to our siege here.
Ouch.
Be careful of this barrel.
Ouch.
And what we need to do now is try to find the exit. Oh!
Shutting down.
Try to find the exit. And this is the price you pay for rushing. Enemy reactor. Okay, so this is a thing we have to take out. This is the warp pad, but our mission objective originally was to take out the energy reactor. So
Shutting down.
let's just do this. And as you can see, it takes a while. We can switch over to our rocket launcher, which does a lot more damage. Problem solved. And then we can leave.
Whoa,
Success.
nice one. I go out for a coffee and you're already done.
I like that. So I don't know if you guys have noticed because I've been talking a lot, but the Exos actually make these little quips. They like taunt the enemies, which I just think is fantastic. I'm not sure how the music's going to fit in, but I really enjoy the dialogue that they have put in. The narrator sounds great. He's very Bastion-like. Not really much else I can say on that front. It's really enjoyable. So that is a look at this game, Bionic Dues. I really enjoy it. I'm having fun with it. I've played a lot further on my own, but I think this gives you the basic idea of what you can expect. Take your time with it. It's very thorough. As you can see, like we just got all this new inventory, so you have to go and decide where you want to put it on all of your different mechs. And the thing is that your starting strategy has a big impact on your overall game, because as far as I know, there's not a way for you to swap out your Exos once you start. So you have to choose 4 of the 6. You choose your 1 pilot, and then you go on, and you have to decide how you're going to make it work. It's cool because you have basically 50 missions out of 120, I think. There'll be 120 that appear over the course of the game, and you have to go through 50 of them in whatever order you choose. So it's really cool. I'm having a great time with it. If this is your kind of thing, you're going to love this game. If you like all the little customizations, if you like the tactical combat, admittedly, what I've shown you, the combat is pretty simple, but just imagine when there's a ton more enemies on the map. There's all different types of enemies, because there's actually 40 different types of enemies that you'll face, and it gets pretty intense. So that was a look once again at Bionic Dues. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.